Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today is the weekly Star Wars recap for January 27th, 2025, which this week we have some movie news, but also some comic news, both pretty big, to talk about. But before I get into that, got to jump into the new releases, starting off with everything that came out last week, which there was only one thing, which was The Battle of Jakku, Last Stand, Issue 4, which I didn't read, but coming out this week is The High Republic Adventures Phase 3, Issue 14, The High Republic Adventures Echoes of Fear, Issue 4, The High Republic Adventures Dispatches from the Occlusion Zone, Issue 4, The High Republic Adventures Phase 3 Annual, which all those come out January 29th, and then a new Legacy one-shot, and Ewoks Issue 4, which also come out on January 29th. But let's jump into the news, which first, there was two big movie news stories this week, which I did do a full video talking about both stories, so you can check that out to get some more in-depth thoughts and speculation from me. But both of the news stories came from reports from The Hollywood Reporter. The first saying that Ryan Gosling is in talks to join the cast of Shawn Levy's Star Wars movie, which he is just in talks, so he hasn't signed on just yet. But if he does sign on, they will fast track the film and will most likely start filming later this year, and it will be the next Star Wars movie after The Mandalorian and Grogu, which I do quite like the casting of Gosling, as I really like him as an actor, so I do hope he does sign on. Levy, I'm not too crazy about as a director though. But the other news story is that the Rey New Jedi Order film has found a new writer with George Nolfi, who wrote films like Ocean's 12 and The Bourne Ultimatum, and since then has written and directed several other movies. I will say, not too familiar with most of those movies he's done, since those two I mentioned. But, he'll just be a writer on the film, with Sharman Aboud-Chinoy still set to direct the movie. But hopefully this gets the film back on track, as Damon Lindelof and Stephen Knight were both writers on the film beforehand, and they both left. So hopefully this writer can get the movie on track and whatnot, because I do want to see more of Rey. But like I said, I did do a full video talking about both those news stories, so you can check that out. And if I remember, I'll have the links to the Hollywood Reporter articles linked down below. But with that said, let's jump into some comic news, as Marvel has finally revealed a new flagship ongoing Star Wars comic, just titled Star Wars, which it will be set after Return of the Jedi and The Battle of Jakku, which the series will be written by Alex Segura, who recently wrote the Battle of Jakku comic series. But the new series will also have art from Phil Noto, which I always enjoyed his art. He hasn't done the interior art for a series in a little bit now. He's done a lot of covers and whatnot, but the actual interior art for the actual comic, I feel like it's been a while since he's done anything beyond just a one-issue thing. So I am happy to see him return as a artist for the series. But obviously this series will follow Luke, Leia, and Han as they deal with the aftermath of the Galactic Civil War and the fall of the Empire and rebuilding the New Republic and whatnot, and dealing with all of that. But we'll obviously see several other characters. I would assume, Chewie, Lando, R2, C-3PO, and whatnot will be there. But they do mention characters like Mon Mothma, but also Bylert Valance will also make an appearance, which he is featured on one of the variant covers for the first issue. So I am happy to see that he will return. Obviously, he has had a past with Han Solo and some of the other canon comics, so excited to see how their relationship evolves in this era. I do wonder if we'll see more of Dr. Aphra in this era also. I do wonder if she'll just get another new ongoing series set around the time of this one. But, just also excited to get more stories set in this time frame in canon, as there isn't a whole lot, at least featuring Luke, Leia, and Han. Obviously, Luke has a couple appearances in the Mandalorian, and I think the novel Last Shot takes place, or part of it takes place around this time. So there's a couple things, but not that much. So excited to kind of get more of that. This series will join the other two new ongoings starting this year, which are Jedi Knights, which follows the Jedi before the Phantom Menace, and then Legacy of Vader, which follows Kylo Ren in between the events of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. But the first issue of this new series will come out May 7th, 2025, so right after Star Wars Day, which there is a short little description for the first issue, which says, "An epic new adventure begins for Luke, Leia, and Han in the wake of Return of the Jedi. New York Times bestselling author Alex Segura launches the bold next era of Star Wars. Luke Skywalker must defend the New Republic from a bloodthirsty gang of mercenaries. Han Solo investigates a deadly underworld mystery and saves a surprising ally. Leia Organa must grapple with a new alliance opposed to the goals of the New Republic." So yeah, quite excited for this series to start up. But alongside that, we did learn the April 2025 Marvel Star Wars comics, which are Legacy of Vader Issue 3, written by Charles Soule with art by Luke Ross, which will come out April 16th, 2025, which the description for that says, "Kylo Ren, prisoner on Tatooine. Kylo Ren has been imprisoned by the ruthless Gardula the Hutt. The young tyrant must survive the harsh conditions of his grandfather Darth Vader's homeworld. And who is the mysterious Force user in Gardula's employ?" Which, real quick, some Legacy of Vader stuff. There was a preview for issue 2, which I guess reveals that Darth Vader returned to Tatooine and killed Watto. So that's crazy. Obviously, Watto probably deserved it. But also, I guess, in an interview, Charles Soule said that a Order 66 survivor will appear in the series, so I'm assuming that's the mysterious Force user referred to in the description for issue 3. But there also is Jedi Knights issue 2, written by Mark Guggenheim with art by Madabak Musabakov, which will come out April 9th, 2025, which the description for that says, "Yoda and Vitna Mooncrest face the tyranny of Atha Prime. The Jedi face a new threat on a strange, fantastic, and mysterious world. But the planet's surface ruler has a dark secret he wants hidden from the Republic." The first story featuring a never-released Kenner action figure, Atha Prime. And then the High Republic Fear of the Jedi issue 3, written by Cam Scott with art by America Cresta, which will come out April 30th, 2025, which the description says, "Blockade over Iriadu. Lines are drawn as Kiev Trennis's Storm Maul defense fleet joins the fight against the Nile. Can Kiev remain true to the light as she leads her team into battle? Meanwhile, heartbreak is relived as the past catches up with one of Lorna Dee's crew." And finally, the Rise of Skywalker comic adaptation issue 3, written by Jody Hauser with art by Will Sliney, will come out April 30th, 2025. But obviously excited for all those new ongoings to start. Legacy of Vader starts in about a week from now, so very excited for that one. Very excited for Jedi Knights and Star Wars also. But that's going to be it for this week's weekly Star Wars recap. Like I said earlier, you can check out my video going deeper into the movie news what I talked about. And you can check out all my other videos I've been doing. But obviously there's a couple videos, like there's Skeleton Crew I didn't do a single review of. I was hoping to get those done, but I kind of been a little sick for a couple weeks now. Not like crazy sick, but my voice don't sound very good, so you can probably tell a little bit, but hoping that kind of goes away so I can actually record those videos and whatnot. So hopefully I can get around to that stuff soon. And obviously all these new comics starting up, I don't technically need to catch up, so I can start doing reviews right away. I still do want to catch up on all the 2020 ongoing series, which I'm very far behind on. So hopefully I can do that at the same time. But anyways, I'm rambling on now. I've been Star Wars Review, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
We could go anywhere we want in the whole galaxy. A real adventure. No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods. What do you think it is? I think it's a lost Jedi temple.